Hey YouTube, back again with another video. We got this beautiful painting from a family member and we love it, but it's in a very dark area of our house. And the problem is there's no electrical outlet in there to add a light, and there's nothing in the ceiling that I can use. And I wanted to add these lights. I found them on Amazon. It's an X-King little LED surface mounted light. But I didn't want the wires to show, so I thought I'd make a video to show you how I solved my problem, and maybe it'll help you at your house to add some LED lighting for your artwork or in a dark area without the light showing in the ceiling. Okay, so here's the package. Let's quickly unbox this and see what we're working with. Remote. Looks like some sort of wiring, so you can add a bunch of different lights to the same remote circuit. Controller box. Oh wow. Okay, so here's the converter, which converts the 110 in your house to 12 volts. So that tells you that this plug here has to plug in to a 110 outlet or a cord or something. And oh wow, look how small the light is. That's going to be awesome. So this will just surface mount and shine down like a little spotlight. And it came with two of these. Looks like this is some sort of little plate that you can add to make sure they stick on. And here's the other light still in the little package. All right, let's go. Okay, here on the inside, I decided I'm gonna put one light in each corner. So I'm just gonna go up there. I got my ladder here. I'm gonna drill a small hole through that ceiling piece into the attic, and that will give me the access to the wires for the lights. Okay guys, I've come up in the attic. Now I'm pretty lucky because usually I buy a hot water heater, which mine is in the attic. There's some service outlets here, so I've already got some cords plugged into those. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna identify and locate where that art piece is and go find out what I'm dealing with obstruction wise. So I've got a power source available. I just need to find out where the lights are gonna go. All right, I've identified in the attic where the lights are gonna go. And I just pulled away, this is just spray and insulation. So I pulled those away and you can see the drywall ceiling right there. So all I'm gonna have to do is go inside the house and poke in through the ceiling where I want those wires to go for those two lights and pop them into the attic. Here's the light. So I'm gonna be poking this little piece here through the ceiling. So I just need to make sure I have a drill bit that will allow that to pass through. And that looks just about right. All right, I'm just gonna use this as a template to kind of eyeball where I want these lights to go. So I'm gonna go about 1.5 inches off this side wall here and just mark a little mark like that on both sides. Okay, so got that marked off. I'm just gonna pop these holes with the drill right into the ceiling, and that'll come out in that area that we looked at in the attic. Okay, so here's my hole that I drilled. Get this light packet here. And here's the tip there that goes into that controller that we looked at on the unpacking side. I'm just gonna pop that through the hole that we drilled and fish the wires through the holes on both sides. Okay, so the lights, they came with these little double stick pads and some screws. Now the screws will work great if you're going to be mounting the lights to a hard surface like wood, but I'm going to use these double stick pads. And so to get them around the cord, I'm just going to cut right down the middle, create like a little slit in there, and that'll slide around that cord. Okay, so the double stick tape with that little slit I made is on the end of the light here. Just gonna slide this up, push that through the hole, and push firmly against the ceiling for a couple seconds. And we are done. Light is installed, looks fantastic. All right, back up in the attic, and you can see the lights where we popped them through. And I'm just gonna consolidate these all into one location. So here's the ends here. Sorry for the camera shake. And these are gonna go into this junction box. Okay, so here's our junction. It's gonna plug in each of the lights into one of these little holes. This is one. And two. So now, this is where the power supply that comes with it plugs into. All right, and so all we need to do now is plug the power supply into the cord. All right, so I ran a cord from the service I showed you by the water heater, and I'm just gonna plug in these lights like that, and our install is complete. Now let's go test out the lights. So come back inside, the lights are all on. As soon as they were plugged in, they turned on, so that's good. They're in the corners there, they look great. But the problem is this remote is infrared. I didn't realize that. So in order for it to work, there's a sensor that's on the power supply that's a receiver, and that's gonna have to poke through the ceiling. So all I'm gonna do is, using the same bit that I use for the wire, I just popped another hole in the corner here, and I'm just gonna slide the infrared sensor through there, and that'll give me the opportunity to leverage the remote controls. Okay, so I'm back in the attic. Here's the little controller box, and there's that sensor I was telling you about. I saw it when I was installing it, and I started getting suspicious, and sure enough, this sensor has to be visible to the remote control for it to work. So if you're putting these lights inside of a room and you're gonna wire everything inside the room, that would just need to be somewhere that the controller can find. But since we're doing this in the attic, I'm gonna have to poke this through that second hole that I drilled. All right, so I've poked that sensor through, and just below the surface of the ceiling. And here's the remote control now. Let's see if it works. There we go, we're in business. All right, there's the final product. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks fantastic. It's lit up this whole wall, and that art really is popping right now. And turn it off, it's just a simple fades out. Looks fantastic. For the price, you can't beat it. Well, there it is, and I gotta tell you, I can't be more happy with how this project turned out. The lights cost me around $30, and with just a few minutes of work, I was able to add a lot of value and richness to this space. I hope this video helped you out and inspired you to go out there and give it a shot.